appreciate that a lot of the team have been furloughed, but if you've got enough team not furloughed to release a shirt, you can do some other stuff. Was my point. And I know that some people have been ringing the elderly and vulnerable fans. I appreciate that, but I appreciate that that's a higher percentage than most sports fan base.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, you've got my season ticket money. I would like a little bit of value during this time. I want to feel part of the community and part of the club, rather than just a wallet.
Yeah, and so I sort of understand what you're saying, and the poll results might surprise you in that regard, because 32% of people said that their club have been keeping them up to in touch with what's been going on. 29% said it's been occasional contact rather than regular contact, and then 25% said little contact. So it's quite evenly spread, but the one that came out on top was regular contact, and then 14% said only to sell stuff to me, which I think 14% of people were being more honest than 32% of people, because I found with my club, which I support,
contact.
Yeah, well, I get what you mean, but the question was specifically about updating you with what's going on, and I don't think that my club have updated me with what's been going on at all. I've not. We've had one or two bits from like Chris Radlinski or what have you, a couple of pieces in the local papers, as well as some pieces, sent to fans or put on the website, which more so were in the earlier stages of the lockdown, like Gary Hetherington's letter was in the earlier stages of the lockdown. I just think the Super League and the RFL have done pretty well in keeping us up to date in what's going on, is my personal feeling, but I don't think the clubs have done particularly much to reach out to me as a season ticket holder, as a very engaged member of the fan base. So I was surprised by these results, especially with like where you were coming from as well, Don, with what side it. Sarah, how about you with Hull FC? Have they been telling you what's been going on outside of come and watch these old games and the stuff we talked about on the first poll?
I just quickly had a look through my inbox. Since the 1st of May, I've had 15 emails from the club. 13 of these emails are trying to get me to spend money with them. 2 of them are giving me any information.
Yeah, and yeah.
And of those 2, only one of them is saying today's the anniversary of us beating Widnes in the Premiership final. So that's not really new information, is it? It's just not selling me something.
Yeah, that's more in the engagement kind of level of it. Like, let's all remember stuff together. Let's think about stuff together, rather than, isn't it? Yeah.
So in 41 days, I had emails. I could have deleted a couple. I'm not sure. We'll say 15. So that's one every nearly 3 days, and a third have been, we've got a new spring range out, come and spend your money with us, come and give money. And not been anything from club thanking us for continuing with direct debits for those people who still do. One of the Facebook pages, an official one, has said that there's been a lot of people saying that they want Adam Pearson or someone from the club just to acknowledge things, and said, I'll tell you what, you list your questions, we will email them to Adam Pearson and see what happens in response. And then you get all the idiots, you're not a real fan if you're questioning the club. It's like, well, and that really annoys me, because why can't you question the club if you're a fan?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I will support the club, but people are in situations, they're furloughed, they're lost income, some of people lost their job, just all of these things, and all the club is doing is sending us emails asking for more money.
Yeah, and sort of similar. I think Wigan's emails have mostly been about trying to get you to sort of work through the website to end up getting a Wigan TV subscription since the free subscription period ended. And I think it was great that they gave a free subscription period, but it was all designed to make people buy subscriptions, which is fine because these clubs need money, they're not charities. And one thing I am grateful for is most of the emails that we've had to sell us stuff have been telling us, but if you buy it, you're buying it at a good discount here, you know. So at the start of lockdown there was no postage fees. Then once the club shop reopened, it was big discounts on all of this year's range, that sort of stuff. So at least they were not making me feel like I was getting ripped off. But like you say, sorry, it was a lot of please come and buy something, which I'm in a position that I can do. I'm lucky. I'm not like a lot of the fans that won't be in that position. So I've had a similar experience to you guys. That's why I was surprised that most people seem to be satisfied with the kind of contact they're getting from the club at the moment, their clubs at the moment. But
you know, I mean, even to the point where the 28th of May, we have an email entitled "Get your Broncos and Eels merch from Hull FC." So you're not even trying to flog me, club stuff. You're just trying to make money out of me on anything you possibly can.
I think if you'd have asked what type of contacts have you had,
yeah, I think you might have got it.
Because I think that would be an interesting one.
Yeah, so I think I was hoping more people would kind of comment about stuff, which unfortunately they've not done. But do you know what? We're back into this thing we were talking about in the break between sections, which is how fucking divisive everything is and how people are so fixated on their cause that they can't have nuance to their conversations about it necessarily. Which is what I hope we can bring about being fans of this sport and have some nuance to our conversation. Like Sarah said, there's no chance that people like us guys are going away from supporting our clubs even when we criticise or question them. You know, we want honest answers to honest questions. We don't want defensive answers to honest questions. Because guess what, guys? As soon as you let us back in the stadium, we're fucking gonna be there.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing, right? So people are saying, oh, we want injury updates, blah, blah, blah. I know that legally the clubs are on dodgy ground if they start releasing injury updates because the players technically the players shouldn't be having anything to do with the club, so therefore the club shouldn't be releasing injury updates. That's fine. I don't want that. I don't even care who our new coach is going to be because, again, everyone's meant to be furloughed, so these decisions allegedly aren't happening and these conversations allegedly aren't happening. But just come out, send us an email, say, do you know something? It's a crap time at the moment. We're all going through it together. But we know that, you're great fans. And because of that, next season, we're going to offer you 10% off your season pass or half price 2021 shirt or something.
Or even, Sarah, just like, we really want to be able to update you on some of these things that we see you're all asking questions about, and we're just not in a position to be able to negotiate with a new coach. We're not in a position to be able to be treating players who are out injured. Just to tell people that, even though we all know it, it's like, it's a direct form of contact that's not dodging anything. It's not, isn't it? And then we're part of this together,
Yeah, we're all in it together. We got a letter from the high school that Joshua's going to be going to in September. We had only just found out he'd got the place, I think, on the 6th of March or something. And then obviously, it said, and we'll be in touch, but this is when the open evening is going to be, and this is when that's going to be. Then by the start of April, we had another letter saying, obviously, the situation we find ourselves in is not what we were expecting. Therefore, the transition process will not be what we have told you. At this stage, we don't know what it will look like, but we will keep in touch. That is all you want.
Yeah, because surely part of the essential roles of surely part of the essential roles of directors or whatever under the furlough scheme is releasing a statement to your customers about where you're up to in being able to open your doors to your customers again.
Yeah, and then last week we got a letter telling us exactly what the situation was. So that was 8-9 weeks further down the line before they told us anything other than it's not going to be what we thought it was. But that's fine, because you feel appreciated.
Yeah.
You feel like there's somebody that knows you exist.
Yeah, someone realises that you're unsure and you care a lot about this, and let's make, even though we can't make anything more sure right now, we can at least make you feel like we know that you're unsure and we're bothered about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, really, how much would it take for Adam Pearson or James Clark or, Chris Radlinski or whoever send you, weekly emails? Because they're not going to have been furloughed, are they?
I'll tell you what, they're sending them to their sponsors. They're sending them to the people who pay money to go in the corporate boxes. They're sending them to people who sponsor players. They are doing that. But
yeah, but and I know, and they'll also chase you up if you can't do your direct debit. I know people that have had that.
Right. Well, I'm guessing they farm that sort of job out to other companies that will not be on furlough leave, which is, a different matter. But at the same time, I can step back and think that, but someone who gets contacted, that's not going to go down well, is it? Like you say, Sarah, it's not.
No, you're in a position where you're paying out for 4 direct debits a month. Suddenly you're furloughed or you lose your job, you're down to half an income between you. You can't afford it. People I know have been trying to ring up the club and emailing the club and saying, what do I do? At the moment, we're not in a position that we can do this. And nobody's answering the phone. Leave a message. Well, the inbox is full. You can't leave a message. Nobody's replying to the email, so therefore you stop your direct debit. And then suddenly you get a call saying, hang on a minute, you stopped.
And it's even if the club just to come out and say, we can't answer your emails because we can't employ someone to do it right now because we can't afford to because we need to stay on this furlough leave. Even if they just tell you that on the statement on the website that's distributed automatically, I can click a button to send an email to everyone who's ever answered a survey on Super League Pod, whether they want me to or not. Why can't the clubs do that for everyone who's got a season ticket?
Well, this is it. And, somebody must be employed to come up with these, special offers of 25% off this and 5% off that you might get sent in 6 weeks' time, because there must be somebody at the shop packing the orders as well.
Exactly, and then we're right back to the starting point of Dom's message to Leeds, aren't we, there, about that. Like, you're employing someone to sell me the shirt, so what else is going on? Yeah.
All right, so shall I finish the story?
No, okay. Let us carry on ranting, Dom. Stop it.
Okay.
No, I think but the point to make is this is how we feel. It's like very impassioned, very strong feelings of our but we are hardcore fans of our clubs, especially me and Sarah. It's like home and away every week kind of people, and the poll results don't dish out what we feel. It's weird, and neither do the fan views that we'll get to in a sec. But Dom, do finish your story, because basically you entered a dialogue with the club, didn't you, after the point of criticism?
Yeah. So I tweeted a 3-tweet thing that, like I said, I wasn't very happy that the club was releasing this at this time, and I just felt like I hadn't had anything from the club in the time, apart from being sold to. So about 20 minutes later, I got a notification that Leeds Rhinos now follows you on Twitter. And
then I got a DM that said, this isn't going to end well.
Oh, shit. And yeah, I got, about 20 minutes later, I got a long DM from someone at the club, basically saying that I was being unfair and that they were down to 5 staff that was unfurloughed in the whole club. That's not 5 staff on the media team. That's including the groundskeeper and XYZ.
Yeah.
And reading the...
You're talking one person in the shop, one person on the ground staff, one person in the executive office, and one person on the media side of things, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. And they basically said all the content they have been producing. So they've been producing the Dogscast. They've been doing it this way, this thing in Leeds Rhinos history, and they've been doing the live match replays. And I said, that's fair enough, but to me, you are pushing content out. And what I'm looking for is that doesn't make me feel part of the community. That doesn't make me feel part of a club or part of a season ticket